Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to take some time to talk about fighters and balance. If you've spent a lot of time reading through online Pathfinder discourse, you probably know where I'm going with this, and I'd also generally recommend, just don't take what people say online all that seriously. As a general recommendation, not just related to fighters. But anyway, people often treat fighter like the best class in the game, and act like if you're playing any other martial class, you've got to have a reason to play that class instead of playing a fighter. Basically, people seem to treat fighters like the default martial class. I have issues with this line of thinking. I'm a big fan of fighters, but I think that it's pretty unreasonable to compare other classes to them. Every martial class has something unique about them that gives character and aligns them towards a particular way of playing the game. Barbarians get a ton of hit points, rogues have more skills than God and also stab people in the kidneys, and monks can generally just outrun all of their problems. In my experience, people seem to take fighter as the template that those other classes are based on. So those classes then have to give up something that fighters have in exchange for getting their class-specific mechanics. That just, isn't how it works. To be entirely clear, every martial class except for fighters and technically gunslingers have the same accuracy at every level. They improve their accuracy with their attacks at level 5 and then again at level 13. Again, to be clear, this is the accuracy that Paizo expects for martials to have. On top of this accuracy, every class gets unique mechanics to spice up how they hit people. Fighter's unique mechanic is being more accurate. Rather than taking an archetypal idea of a fantasy character then giving mechanics to represent that way of fighting, fighters are just really, really good with weapons. If the barbarian's gimmick is being able to rage, then the fighter's gimmick is just being more accurate than everyone else. We don't act like everyone in the game except for rogues and investigators are bad at skills. That'd be really unreasonable since it's obvious that rogues and investigators are just uniquely good at skills when compared to everyone else. They are the deviation from the norm of skills, just how fighters are a deviation from the norm with accuracy, or how, say, barbarians are a deviation from the norm in terms of hit points. Now that I'm mostly done complaining, let's have some fun and talk about what makes fighters actually incredibly well designed. See, fighters don't really have any class features that directly increase their damage, so the average hit from a barbarian is going to be way more damaging than the average hit from a fighter. Blow for blow, a rogue is probably going to do more damage than a dexterity-based fighter just because of sneak attack. Rather than big damage, fighters provide stability and regularity to their attack rules, which that by itself is very good. If you need someone to get a hit in at any given moment, fighters are probably your best bet. Another reason why I think that the fighter design is rad is that the class is just a fantastic, baseline foundation. Yeah, fighters don't have a huge amount of flavor of their own, but it makes up for it as fighters are just a fantastic jumping off point to explore different archetypes. With a fighter, there isn't going to be a lot of competing themes going on with the characters, so if you want a pure look at an archetype, fighters are probably a pretty good place to start. If you want to use the archer archetype and you're playing a ranger, there's going to be hunting and wilderness themes to the characters just because you're playing a ranger. If you want to play your archer, you're probably better off using a fighter instead of a ranger. So yeah, people acting like the pinnacle of accuracy in the game is a reasonable measuring stick might have prompted this video to be made, but it is and has been a bit of a problem for a long time, and I feel like it's given people an unfair view of basically every class other than the fighter. Fighters absolutely are a highly effective class that can do a lot of stuff, and accuracy is basically a relevant gimmick universally, but fighters are far from broken. They're just really good. Thanks for watching. The way that people talk about balance online almost always manages to find a way to frustrate me. Regardless, what have your experiences been when playing a fighter or playing with a fighter? let me know in a comment down below, and while you're down there, you can always consider subscribing or joining the channel as a member to support me financially. My members are all wonderful people, and they all get to see my videos early. Regardless, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.